Former President Trump filing a motion seeking to block former Vice President Mike Pence from speaking to a grand jury about efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. Trump claims that the issues are protected by executive privilege. Let's go now to CNN's Caitlin Paulans. She joins us now. Good morning to you, Caitlin. Realistically, will Trump get his way?
Well, we'll have to see, Don. Right now, this filing is under seal, but this is the third time that Donald Trump has tried to make a claim like this under seal in this investigation, trying to claim that his presidential communications should be secret from criminal investigators looking at January 6th. And there's a long history here whenever you look back, not just in the history of the United States, where courts have really not ruled in favor of executive privilege claims whenever there's criminal investigators wanting to get information. But there's a long history even before this judge in this particular investigation related to January 6th, where Donald Trump has lost now every time he's tried to make this claim that we know of. And so it is very possible he could lose again. It does make it a little bit different that this is about a communication between the vice president and the former president himself while they're both in office. But Don, on the whole, executive privilege does tend to fall away whenever a criminal investigator says, we really want an answer here.
Caitlin, the top Republican and Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee told Meet the Press that they have gotten, quote, a flavor of the contents of classified documents obtained from Trump, Biden, and Pence. Listen to this.
Right now, you have no idea whether these were the highest level
well, we didn't say
or
no,
the mid-level.
We didn't say no idea.
Okay.
Again, we can't get too into the details. We got a flavor for what was there. And I won't speak for Mike, but I will tell you, having been given a flavor, this is a very serious issue. This wasn't stuff that we can say clearly does not matter. It matters.
In all three cases?
Well, again, we don't know. We don't know yet.
The question is, what's the flavor?
Well, the flavor is, it's not the whole thing. It's a taste of what it is. They clearly are saying that they believe that there is a serious issue here as Intelligence Committee members, a Republican and a Democrat standing together and speaking about what they've learned in this first crucial briefing. But they are also, in the rest of that interview, indicating that they are not satisfied with the amount of information that they have gotten so far about these classified documents issues. They also say that they don't know the classification levels of the documents that were being kept outside of secure facilities in any of these investigations. And they indicate that the FBI investigation is ongoing, at least with Donald Trump. We also know that it's ongoing with Joe Biden. There are special counsels looking at both of those things. And whatever the FBI and the intelligence community finds, how secure these documents were, how they were being kept, who may have looked at them after they were outside of the hands of the federal government, all of that is going to play into charging decisions and the criminal investigations. Don?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to be in the background. It may actually overshadow what happens in 2024. Caitlin, thank you.
Joining us now, Ellie Honig, CNN senior legal analyst, former assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York. Ellie, we've talked about this defense before. Trump has used it to attempt to block the testimony of a number of folks who worked for him. Does executive privilege apply to the vice president's testimony in this case?
Well, this is a serious long shot, Jim. Donald Trump actually has quite a poor record of winning on these claims, but he does bring them and he does manage to drag things out. Donald Trump's got two big problems with his executive privilege argument here. The first one is that this is a criminal grand jury subpoena, and courts tend to honor and uphold grand jury subpoenas, not automatically, but typically a grand jury subpoena will overcome a claim of executive privilege. The second problem is Donald Trump is not president anymore. He's a former president. Again, it's possible that a former president can bring an executive privilege claim, but it's much more difficult than if he were still the sitting president. So I think this one's a long shot, but as you said, Jim, this is a pattern for Donald Trump. He likes to claim executive privilege. It helps him slow things down.
Look, and I think everybody knew this was coming, right? We know that Mike Pence is also trying to claim that under the speech and debate clause that he doesn't need to submit to the subpoena. When you look at where we stand, do you see a scenario where the special counsel moves forward without Mike Pence's testimony?
So that's a really interesting question, Erica, and that's the calculation that special counsel has to make right now. Do we go to court and fight both of these claims, Donald Trump's executive privilege claim and Mike Pence's speech and debate claim? Do we take it through the district court? Do we go to the Court of Appeals if we win? Do we maybe then have to wait for for the Supreme Court, or do we just move ahead without Mike Pence's testimony? But here's the risk. You need to know what Mike Pence says if you're a prosecutor. A, it could be helpful to your case. There were certain one-on-one conversations you would want to know about. B, it might be harmful. What if Mike Pence went in there and said things that were all favorable to Donald Trump? What if Mike Pence said, he never pressured me, he told me to just do the right thing? You need to know that either way as a prosecutor.
We will be watching and waiting and calling on you as always for your expertise. Ellie, thank you.
Always ready, guys. Thank you.